All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim HaRachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, who taught us his truth. Honors and salutations to the elect, and to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because they shall arise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer, because he's come and deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. My name is Maka Allah Ben Gab Ben Yasharala, with the Church of Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once again, come back at you with another one. And this one right here, that's what we've been waiting for, all right? It's what's today? July 11th, 2023, the year that hopeful all prophecy is fulfilled. And this one right here is a heavy one, all right? Talking about the CBDC, all right? Now they said, now look at the title. It says, the WEF says CBDCs must be implanted under your skin if you want to participate in society. Hey, man, so that means you can't do anything without getting this implanted in your skin. All right, which goes into what? Revelations chapter 13, 16 on down. All right, so hey, man, we've been right all the time. Start with the apostles and elders. Been right about this new currency. Being the MOT to the B, man. So Nate, it's July. Here goes your microchip. It ain't June, but we was hearing about it in June. It's July, the beginning, the 11th. And guess what? Your microchips is here, buddy. So like I said before, you're going to have to eat those words, and any other congregation that's teaching that the C-hip is not the MOTB, you're going off and you're going to be destroyed if you don't repent. All right, this is your warning, man. This is like, how many more warnings you going to get before this thing goes into full effect? And the Lord starts casting judgment. Because a lot of people are going is going to perish over this right here, man. But anyway, let's read the article. All right, it says WEF says CBDCs must be implanted under your skin if you want to participate in society. F this society, because there's really nothing here for us, man. The mirth of the earth is being taken out, so what are you going to celebrate in? All right? Then they got the smart cities and all that. So that means that they're going to be able to monitor every single thing you do. That's why they want to put this system inside of you. All right? So check it out. It says the WEF has declared that all citizens must be implemented with a CBDC microchip in the very near future in order to be able to fully participate in society and do basic things such as purchase food and water. All right, doesn't that sound familiar? Revelation 13:16. No man can buy or sell, saying that he has the mark, or the number of the mark, which is Casa Stigma 666, 300, 603 score 6. All right. It says, according to Professor Richard Weiner, it says in the very near future, citizens will need to use the latest technology, such as a CBDC chip implant, in order to access their bank accounts. You see that? And that goes back to what? That Obamacare. And they've been talking about that since he was in office. And he had a thing on Twitter talking about everybody chip in. Everything was about this chip, which we've been warning you about, man. So it's here. You know what it is. If you don't, like, you should know what it is. Even heathens know what it is, man. All right, but you Israelites, you wicked Israelites, you just don't want to take heed and humble down and be like, okay, the apostles was right, man. Damn, it's for your salvation anyway, man. But it ain't the truth ain't for everybody. You gotta have your wicked scribes and Pharisees to fulfill prophecy as well, man. All right, because we all come back in our same lot. But anyway, it says Professor Richard A. Weiner is an economist and and professor of banking and finance. He is known as the proponent of new post-crisis monetary policy. He called quantitative easing, which is QE, which he proposed in Japan in 1995 as chief economist of the British Investment Bank. All right, it says he has also worked as a researcher at the University of Oxford, the Bank of Japan, the Development Bank of Japan, and the Asian Development Bank. He is involved in supporting the establishment of not-for-profit community banks through an initiative called Local First (CIC). All right, it says Local First (CIC). All right, now check this out. Now this man, he's well educated in this banking thing. All right, this is the credentials right there. So the man knows what he's talking about. All right, so he can take his word, man. It's going to the MOT to the B. It says exposednews.com reports at the Amsterdam Science Summit 2022, Professor Weiner gave a lecture on central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and the 2030 agenda, which is right around the corner, but I don't believe America has that much time left. That's why they're about to come down with great wrath. All right, it says at the sidelines of this year Amsterdam Science Summit, he spoke to Ivor Cummins about CBDC and how high inflation has been orchestrated by central banks to further their agenda. So as it says in the scripture, Sirach, I believe it was 10 and 12. Salakia, never trust thine enemy because his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right. It says there are two aspects of QE, monetary policies, that Professor Weiner proposed: QE1 and QE2. QE1 is for the central bank to step in and purchase the non-performing assets in the banking system. The central bank buys up non-performing assets at face value, and the problem is solved. Banks have a strong balance sheet, but that won't be enough to get banks to increase credit. All right. It says so Professor Weiner proposed QE2, which allows the central bank to force the banks to create more money to push it into the economy. And that's what America's economy is crazy. Like, the American dollar is equivalent to, I believe it's Iranian money or Iraqi money, which they was like a third world country to America. Now the money to America is about the same. All right. So it says this would be accomplished with central banks buying assets, e.g., property from the non-bank sectors. The money the non-bank sectors receive from sale of property would then be deposited into sellers' bank accounts. When an economy is experiencing deflation, that's how central banks can push money into the economy directly, Professor Weiner explained. And that's why they give you all these different distractions and everything, so you don't see what's really going on. And this is the agenda that they're trying to push, which they are pushing because it's already written, it's biblical, it's prophecy. All right. But it says QE1 was followed by Japan in the 1980s, but the USA disallowed Japan subsequently using QE2, and then out of the blue, at the wrong time, QE2 was adapted by the U.S. Federal Reserve and other central banks in March 2020. The intention of adopting QE2 at that time was to cause high inflation. All right, they wanted to cause this high inflation so they could basically do away with this economy and bring it on to the next one. All right. It says why to move economies out. To move economies onto a CBDC system. See that? You have to think of CBDCs as a control system or a permit system, not a currency, Professor Weiner explained. So yeah, it's all about control, man. They're going to get you like the social scores and all that, which is going to explain that. All right, it says it's a conditional currency based on your actual getting that permit. Now, if you happen to be some kind of critic of government policy or a critic of central banks, this could be difficult. Or if you dare to step out of the 15-minute city zone, see that? And let's talk about your smart cities, because that's why they're getting all this 5G and everything, so they can connect you to that. It's all about tracking and everything. All right, they want to control everything. All right, it says maybe you'll find that. So maybe you'll find that, oh, it says my CBDC is not working. Of course, these are things we've seen already in China. Yup, and I've seen a couple videos like that. It says there's plenty of videos where somebody tries to use it to buy a ticket and it doesn't work because his social credit scores are low. See that? So well, if you try to speak out against you, they're gonna tax you, cut your chip off. You can't use it. So it's all about complete control because they said that they will be like the Most High. And that's what they're trying to accomplish right here. All right, going back into what? First Maccabees. What's the Antiochus? He wanted to make have all the people be one. It's the same thing, man. It's nothing new under the sun. All right. It says, and effectively, there's no real right to appeal with very few people controlling the very many. The controllers will use computers and algorithms to run the system. If you're appeal the blocking of CBDCs, you'll be dealing with automated responses. So you're not even going to be able to speak to a person because everything that they're going to set up is going to be designed just to directly just shut you down. All right, says Professor Weiner explained that the central planners, as he calls them, orchestrate inflation to cover up changes to banking systems. You see that? For example, in the 1970s, high inflation was orchestrated to cover up the move of the gold-backed U.S. dollar to the petrodollar. See, and they used that inflation back then to switch it over. So they're doing the same thing now. All right, inflation, distraction. To keep your minds occupied. That's why they're doing all the things that they do. It says in the high inflation we've experienced in 2021 and 2022 has been orchestrated to cover up the move from the petrodollar to the CBDC. All right, and this is going to be the last currency because the Lord ain't, as it says, Job 20 and 23. It says the Lord is going to rain it down on him while he is eating when he's about to fill his belly. And that's what he's thinking he's eating right now, man, but he's not going to fill his belly. All right. It says in March 2020, the Federal Reserve and other key central banks adapted QE2, a recommendation from deflation or a shrinking economy. In March 2020, economies weren't shrinking, but the Federal Reserve adapted QE2 and brought up assets from non-banks, forcing banks to create credit. It was very clear, and it was going to create inflation. This was not an error in judgment. It was intentional. Professor Weiner explained, it's a very specific policy that is very rarely taken. Proof that this was a deliberate action, Professor Weiner said, was that just before COVID in August 2019, there was a conference in Jackson Hole of the annual central bank conference. See this the C19 whole thing. That was just a test run to see how you're going to react with having to be forced to do something. So they already know basically who's going to act what way, who's going to act this way. All right, like I said, it's going to be mass death coming in the up and coming times, man, because they already got the guillotine back for capital punishment, and this is going to be capital punishment. You not want to cooperate with society, man. All right, so that's why we got to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRachakodash with all our heart, and lean not to our own understanding, all right? Because he's going to direct our paths in those days, all right? As it says, my man's goings is of the Lord, how can a man therefore understand his own way? So pray that the Lord keeps his spirit on you to maintain and fight through this thing, man, to deliverance, all right? Lord's willing, we be a part of that number. All right, it says, proof that this was a deliberate action, Professor Weiner said was that just before COVID in August 2019, there was a conference in Jackson Hole of the annual Central Bankers Conference, but it invited BlackRock, the biggest asset manager, and BlackRock made a proposal. They said there will be another crisis. All right, you see that? So they're just trying to scare you into taking it. But it says what? The Lord did not give us the spirit of fear. All right, so and it also tells you fear none of these things that they have imagined against you. All right, it says, but this time we would create inflation. They never explain why. They just say we must create inflation, and here's how we're going to do it. And they cited my proposal without mentioning my name, of course. All right, because he started at QE1 and QE2. All right, it says, and there's one more factor, Professor Weiner said. The Federal Reserve hired BlackRock in March 2020 to buy assets. QE was for a deflationary situation, but the way they were using it had to cause inflation. There was no doubt, and they knew it because they even said it. So they know, man. They go into secret councils, had their little secret meetings, but there's nothing done in the dark that's not going to come to the light. So we're aware of all these things. That's why we warn our people, because the Lord gives us the insight. Okay, it says we're spiritual whistleblowers. It says, so this current inflation is entirely intentionally created by the central banks, by the central planners. So how are we going to punish them for this? Oh, let's give them more powers. Let us give them unprecedented powers over everything, over life on earth through central bank digital currencies. All right, they being sarcastic right there, but that's ultimately what they want, man. What it said, they heap onto them all manners of men. That's what Esau wants. It says the true reason I think why they wanted this inflation, because that it is to cover up essentially the distinction, the de-integration, so like the disintegration of the petrodollar, and move to the new system, which they want to be CBDC based, all right, which is the MOT to the B, the C hip, all right. It says at the moment there's talk about CBDCs being used via phone-based apps, all right, because they want to put your phone inside your body as well. Yes, that is the intentional phase, but what was already selected, but what was already around 2015 is the ultimate goal. What they really want, apparently, I was told by a central bank, the CBDC looks like a small grain of rice. See that? And that's talking about your C hip, your MOT to the B, which we've been warning you about this for a long time. Now it's here. All right, it is here. Inside joke. All right. It says Salakia. It says it like a small grain of rice that they want to put under your skin. All right, which is the charagma. All right, which is my view of a violate. Which in my view of a violation of human dignity. And they realize there is a hurdle to get people to accept this proof. Professor Weiner said, of course, because they know that the actual person is not going to do it. That's why they're going to try to use your celebrities, man. Your favorite rappers, actors, basketball entertainers, all that, man. They're going to use them to hit the children first, and the older ones, they just going to weed them out and just put them to death. All right. It says, so they're using crises, disruption, and unemployment to introduce universal basic income to soften the public up to accepting a CBDC chip implanted under their skin. All right, so it's not sin. All right, it's not sleeping with the white woman. It's not a philosophy. It's an actual chip that they're going to put inside of your body, which we've been telling you. All right, starting with the apostles on down. All right, been telling you the same thing for years. All right, so if you don't know about now, the Lord is not working with you and you're going to be put to death. It's just that simple. All right, and they're trying to create all these different things to make you scared, just like they did with the C-19. And they see how many people got scared and who really stood their ground and everything. All right, but this time, man, they brought back the guillotine. Like I said, what was that, a 95 with Clinton? All right, Clinton was the one that signed that back in the capital punishment. It's a lot of people don't remember that, and that was one of America's favorite presidents. They're like, oh, he's black. He's playing the saxophone. Bill Clinton, he got head in the White House. Hey, man, he's a fucking devil, man. All right, he was just another puppet doing his job for Esau, all right? And you niggas fell for that shit. All right, it says you will get see, check this out. This is how they're going to get a lot of you jakes, man, that's hungry for money. It says you will get 2,000 euros into your account every month. But of course, to run this efficiently, they'll say we need to use the latest technology. So you need the CBDC chip implant. See that? That's the devil for you, man. That's why it says never trust thine enemy, man, because IRS destroys his wickedness. All right. So that's the things that they have planned up for us, man. All right, and they said they want to put it inside of your body, man. All right, this whole article is going into that. All right, so let's grab these couple scriptures. All right, which is let's go here real quick to the classic. All right, I'm gonna end it on this one. All right, so this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. It says he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And see that? The beast system, all right, goes back to the Roman Empire. You know, when you had your republic and your Democrats and all that, you had the Caesars, they was voting and everything. But your beast system is here, all right, with NATO being your beast now, all right, the beast system, all right, it says so. And they have power to do all these things, man, to bring the stuff back, which they already did, brought back the Roman Empire, because the deadly wound that was healed was talking about here in America. All right, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So like I said, if you don't take this chip, you see it, man, they're going to put you to death, man. That's why I mentioned the guillotines, because that's a way of punishment. And it's to harvest your organs, so like they don't want to use no firing squad because it could damage your organs. Because all these elite want Jake's organs, man, because they think that's going to make them better, think the Lord is going to accept them, because that lets you know that there's a difference between us and them, man. All right, we're not the same, we're separate, all right? So this is their last stand, their last hoorah, if you will. All right. So it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And like it was a couple articles mentioning about brain implants, Elon Musk doing that. And it was one couple, I believe, over there in China, that they wanted to get the brain chip so that they could communicate through their minds, man. But the elect is going to have that power, man. Real soon, to communicate through your minds, to talk to each other. All right, just like Yahweh Shah knew the thoughts of the people, they ain't know his thoughts, but he knew theirs. All right, and that's a miracle and spiritual powers that he showed us right here on earth, man. All right, so we're going to get that same power. All right, because he told us we was going to have it. All right, so matter of fact, let's go to the word mark, since these guys are talking about sin, and it's so simple, man. A 2-year-old can understand this, man. All right, but let's get the word mark, which is charagma, which is an imprint of the skin, a cutting of the flesh. All right, and that's why they use them. What's that? They use them syringes, man.
Strong's G 5480.
Charagma. All right, which is all right, and they use a syringe because that's poison, right? The tip of the syringe comes from the technology of a snake's fang. And we call Esau the snake, man. He was that snake in the garden, the slick one, all right, the subtile one, all right? And so that when they use that, put it inside the skin, that's the poison they put into you. You're not going to make it once you get this mark, all right? So this is going to separate the boys from the men, all right? The men of the Lord from you phonies, man. This is the deal sealer right here. All right, it says a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamp on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Who's the Antichrist? The government, man. It's not just one person. Anti means against. Christ, Hamashiach. So they're against Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, and Yahweh, and his people. All right. It says the mark branded upon horses. They carved sculpture, graven work, and idolatrous images. All right, so that's the thing that they're going to put aside. Like I said, they use the syringe, which the tip of the syringe comes from the fang of a snake, a poisonous snake. That's the technology that they get it from. The way that they inject the poison when they bite you. All right, that's the same technology as the syringe. You said it's as small as a grain of rice. All right, to fit right in there. You got some people like Sweden who believes about 99% population is chipped already. All right, they already got the Yakada, so that whole place is done, man. All right, so let's go back here. All right, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so now that they mentioned in the article, they even buy and sell, like to even purchase food and water. You're going to need that C-hip to purchase food and water. And that's what it just said. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 603 which is Casa stigma 666, which on your barcode, because they want you to be their property. All right, so which is on your barcode. That's why they want to stamp you, brand you with their mark. All right, that's why I mentioned like horses and animals, because they brand the horses back in the day, let you know who it belonged to. All right, so it says all right, like I was saying with the you got the what's that, the barcode. It's a lot going on out here, forgive me, but they got the barcode. So the first two hashtags on the barcode is a 6. Then you got the numbers in between, and you got the middle two hashtags, which is a 6. Then you got the more numbers, then you got the last two hashtags, which is the 6. So that's 666, and they're the longest hashtags on the barcode. All right, which is that Casa stigma, that's 603 All right, this is the number of man, 666. All right, and that's what's on that MOT to the B, and that's claiming when you get that, you're branding yourself, saying that you belong to your enemy, you belong to Esau. When Esau, the heathens, all the heathens are our inheritance, man. All right, so why would you bow to a heathen, knowing that you're much more? All right, as a matter of fact, let's go here, because that's a trial. That's a trial right there. Like I said, it's going to separate the men from the boys from the men. All right, so let's go here real quick. Second Ezra's, one of my favorite chapters, the 16th chapter. Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's go back to verse 70. All right, so check it out. And this is about to happen. Matter of fact, let's go to 69. Second Ezra chapter 16, 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach and trodden underfoot. All right. Matter of fact, let's go up a little more. Let's go to Second Ezra 16 and 67. It says, behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble, all right? And are we not coming into Jacob's trouble, man? All right, that's what we're about to come to. So he'll deliver you from all the troubles that's coming. That's why I told you to fear not. You know, fear none of those things that which the devil has planned for you, all right? Because, hey, man, he already got it. He's the author. He's the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega. All right, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. Who's that? The heathens, man. And they shall be taken away, certain of you, and fed and feed you by being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in a reproach and trodden under foot. All right, because, hey, man, the Lord coming back to wreak havoc. Verse 70, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRachakwadash. All right, because that's what's going to happen in insurrection. That's what they want. When they come and looking for the men of the Lord. Lord's willing to be a part of that number, man. All right, they want the elect. They want your blood, man. All right, they're bloodthirsty, and that's what they love. And as the scripture says, since they did not hate blood, the blood will pursue them. Roughly paraphrasing, you know, the blood is going to be on them, man. All right, and that's what the Lord is coming back. You know, because your blood is a legacy, man. All right, and the legacy of Esau blood is about to be shed in the great way when the Lord comes back, man. All right. God damn, man. People, as soon as you try to start doing something, it's all this goddamn noise, man. You know, and I'm trying to ignore it, but goddamn, you know. Verse 70, 71, Salakia. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRachakwadash. All right, it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold is tried in the fire. All right. It says, hear you, O my beloved, saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, the day of trouble, the trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. You see that? The day of trouble is at hand. So Jacob's trouble is right here in front of our faces, man. All right. But the Lord said, what? He shall deliver you from the same. All right. So you just got to fear him, man. Trust in him no matter what. All right. Because, hey, man, we're headed into some crazy times. So all the ones that was teaching contrary to the doctrine, yo, you've been found to be a liar, man. And you always been a liar. We knew you was a liar. But you just fooled you fooled a lot of the masses of the people, of the Israelites. And, yo, you got a lot of blood on your hand. You're going to be taken. You know, guess what? I wouldn't be surprised if some of these leaders that's teaching that this is not the MOT to the B, if they not already if they don't already have it, man. You know, of course they can't, and they get all this money, man, because that's all they about. They're hirelings, man. You know, and they don't care about your soul because they're not the sheep that they got. They're not their sheep, man. All right. So listen, you're gonna have to pray. That's why I always put prayers up, man. You pray every day, man. You're supposed to pray without ceasing. All right, and I put up prayers for the you know, for the flock, man, for your benefit. All right, but you got to pray them. You know, lock them in, praying, and also just talk to the Lord, man. Pray that He has mercy on you. So, Lord's willing, this was edifying. You got something out of it. To the next lesson, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. And to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, because they shall arise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, He exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, He's the deliverer, because He's come and deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. To the next lesson, I'm going to say Mawaf Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and Death to America. Shalom.